Hey, computer scientists. So for 6.1 or 6.2 rather, I'm also going to show you how to write the methods that are required. So the way that the assignment works, if you do it in the textbook, it's all kind of in the background, but I just want to show you how it works in Replit. So what it does is it creates a new SpellChecker object called checker. And we'll get to the SpellChecker object in a second. But the SpellChecker calls print10, prints starts with AB, and then it says enter a word to spell check or Q to quit. And what it does is it gets your word, and then it keeps, as long as the word doesn't equal Q by itself, it calls spell check on the checker. And if it's true, it says it's spelled correctly. And if it's not true, it's spelled incorrectly. So, and by spelled correctly, of course, what it means is that it's in the dictionary. And that's it. So those are the three things that the main program does. It calls print10, starts with AB, and spell check. The dictionary is in this file, and it is in alphabetical order, even though the example in the textbook is not. We'll get to that later. So here's SpellChecker. Has a few things that it does already for us. It creates this thing called dictionary, right? And when you use the constructor, the SpellChecker constructor, it actually reads the lines of the dictionary file for you and sticks it in that private dictionary array. And then to read the lines, this is kind of stuff we haven't gotten to yet, but it creates a file reader, buffered file reader, and then it reads all of the lines into what's called an array list, and we'll get to that later on in the year. And as long as there are lines to read, it adds it to the string array, and it returns the string array. So basically what it does for us is reads all the lines of the dictionary file into this dictionary string array. So if we know we have an array of all the words in the dictionary, how can we check to see if a word is in it? Well, the easiest way is just to go through that whole dictionary and see if the word matches anything in there. And if we get all the way to the end and it hasn't matched, then it's not in there. So let's look at the assignment here for a second. It says, well, first it says write a print10 method that prints out the first 10 words of the dictionary array. So we know we need it to be called print10. It doesn't take any arguments or parameters, and it doesn't return anything. It just prints out 10 words. So that should be pretty straightforward. So write your methods here. Oops. So write your methods here. So this is going to be a public void method that doesn't take any parameters. And all I need to do is iterate through the first 10 items of the dictionary. So I'm going to say for I equals 0, I is less than 10, I plus plus. So all I need to do is system.out.println dictionary at location I, because I will start at 0 and it'll go up to 9, which are the first 10 placeholders in the dictionary. When it gets to 10, it will stop. All right, so I'm going to try this. And the way I'm going to try this actually is I am going to just put a return statement here. after it does this print 10, because I don't have anything else here to run. In fact, I think I need to comment these out, because otherwise the Java compiler will complain. So I'm just going to comment all of these lines out so that I can test my code without it complaining. All right, so it's complaining about that already. All right, so let's do this. Comment out everything after the return statement. All right, so that printed out the first 10 items. So I think that's good. The next thing that I have to do is write a spell check method that takes a word as a parameter and returns true if it is in the dictionary array. It should return false if it's not found. Okay. So let's go back into SpellChecker. And there's two different ways I can do this. For 6.2, though, we're going to do something very similar to this. But instead of stopping at the 10th item, we need to go through the whole dictionary. And we know how to do that. So I'm just going to actually copy this and paste it. And it's got to be called SpellCheck. And it's going to take a string. And do they say what it's going to be? No. Okay. So I'm just going to call it word. So it's going to pass in a word that is a string. And instead of just checking the first 10 items, I'm going to go all the way to dictionary.length. And now comes the tricky part. I want to say if the word at dictionary position I equals the word, then I'm going to return true because I found the word. Oh, I have to make this a Boolean. Danger of cut and paste. And I don't just want to say else return false, because if I put the else right here, it's going to check the first word in the dictionary. And if that doesn't equal, if the first word in the dictionary doesn't equal the word, it'll return false right away. We want it to get all the way through that for loop, right? Checking every single word in the dictionary. And if it gets to the end of that for loop and doesn't find anything, then we can return false, right? Because we know if it found it, it would have returned true earlier on. So let's go ahead and test this back in main. Gotta get rid of that. And we haven't done starts with yet, so. All right, so let's try it. Enter a word to spell check or Q to quit. Let's try computer. Computer is spelled correctly. Zygote is spelled correctly. What about, that is misspelled. It is not in the dictionary. All right, so I think this is working. Let's try doing the last one. Print starts with AB. So the last one says, print out the words that start with a string of letters in the dictionary array. Your method should take a parameter for the first letters as a string. You could use the Java string starts with method here if you like to, or index of. Okay. So I'm going to look at this starts with. So I'm guessing in the background this starts with uses index of and just says if the index of HEL on my string equals 0, then it's true, otherwise it's false. So let's use it. Let's use starts with. I've never used it before. So I need to make a method called public boolean print starts with string letters. I think they wanted me to call it first letters. And this time I need to go through the entire dictionary. So I'm going to use this for loop again, since I already know that that works. And I'm going to say if dictionary at position I starts with, is that how I use it? Starts with first letters, then I'm supposed to do what? Just print out the word. Okay, let's do that. System.out.print the word at dictionary position I. And it doesn't need to actually return anything. So let's see if that works. Print out everything that starts with AB. Looks like it works. Let's try, well, it's a Q. Let's see if there are any words that start with XY. There are quite a few. Huh. What about ZZ? No words that start with ZZ. All right, well, I think that successfully concludes our 3 methods. If you have any questions, send me an email, message me in Discord. Feel free to look at the repo.